and welcome to again for another live of NaNoWriMo, and in particular with our project Soundway and non-Soundway Subway Surfers. So, before continue, I was thinking about one thing. Today is Saturday, and it does mean that it just passed the first week of the challenge for me personally, because for who didn't know, the challenge NaNoWriMo started the 1st of November, but I started it on between 8th of November and 10th, if I'm not wrong, November. And this is for me the first week. And as I was saying, that because this is my first week, I wanted for a moment to do it now, but see how went my week. In fact, personally, not I am pretty surprised about how it went so good, so perfectly to me personally, and I want to explain you that the reasons. In fact, I never wrote so much and for so long in my life, and this is for this reason was the first time. Also, there is another one thing about him we have to consider, that in my past, considering the last 5 years when I started taking seriously the writing activity, that I always was started any kind of project, writing a story, short story, or start a novel, a trilogy, everything, but I never finished that project, because in fact I had so big ideas how did outline of general outline of the story, who will be the characters, main characters, helper, characters who will engage the main character and others, but I had always this problem to finish the project that I started. And also in the past 5 years, we have to consider that I wrote in total of 2 stories, short stories, but under another name. But for now I will not say which name and which stories. Because this project and in general for writing activity, in particular for fan fiction, but I in the future I am thinking about original stories under this name. I the others how to say I um, for the social media, let's say that I am known as Tihid. Hello, 13. Welcome again. Um, I hope, and also I hope you're okay. You're okay on general. If you wanna talk about something, you're welcome. I'm started just now this live because I had some personal problem to start early, but I'm on live, so there is not problems. So for on social media, I'm known as a Tihi Dozd, that in Russian means quite rain. And under this name, I will mainly write fan fiction, or in general original stories, but inside mainly video games like Subway Surfers, a mobile game, and also in the future or during this project, because the story on Subway Surfers is a trilogy, and I was thinking or during this project on the or after we will see that, but I was thinking I will also write stories in fandoms like The Last of Us, because I had some general ideas. And for example, this concept that I will we will see in the future. Uh, I was thinking about see how developed the world after during the apocalypse, because as for who saw the video game that The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, or also saw the TV show, but I personally also in this moment I didn't see the TV show, but no, just saw the video games. We we follow the main characters of Joel and Ellie in USA, but we don't know very much about other parts of the world, and I'm thinking about this as one of many examples of The Last of Us fandom. And also, I was thinking about other games, but for no, I don't want spoiler what kind. And what I was saying? That in general, I want to write stories under this name. But in the future, I was also thinking about more original stories, and this means out from fandoms and stories I would publish on archive of our own. Uh, and after this, I let's say I have this cons about myself that I speak pretty much, and even more I have the fact I'm talking pretty much. Uh, Sometimes I forgot what I wanted to say in the start, but we are trying to resolve this, or better, not resolve, but improve it in something better. Anyway, from this, I wanted to start to explain about why for me this week was a big week. Speaking about writing, because except for the other day, except for Tuesday, where I had something like writer block, something like that, where I wasn't in the condition of writing something, and not because in the live, if you remember, I had some in general the outline for the second chapter, but I was in the situation, in the best of my best, on writing something, develop the chapter. And except for this day, the let's say lowest day was yesterday, Friday, but yesterday I didn't go live, but I wrote something like around 300 words, the lowest. But my best day was Wednesday with 867 words, the biggest number, where is the first time where I wrote so much in one day. In particular, that the day where I finished the first chapter, I did in some hours. Thanks. Yeah, 300 words is great, and also I hope that I don't think I will, let's see, win the NaNoWriMo challenge, where the purpose is to write 50k words, but I want to try to write as minimum 400 words or more. For me, it's better if I can reach at least, if you will speaking of a writing session of 3-4 hours, try to write 400 or 500 words in these hours of session. Because I don't think that in this moment I'm in the situation of try to reach 1k words, because as I said, I didn't write so much in these last years, and so I didn't develop it so much my writing competence to say, okay, now today I will write 1k words, because I'm not in that situation to do that. But 300, also 400 or 500 is, I think, is good and realistic to me. And also, if have if I every day who I will okay, let's repeat. If I can reach every day 400, 500, I can go more like faster with this project. Also, if we consider that every chapter will be minimum more or less 1k or sorry 1.5k of words. What does it say? That in general that I will finish before this novel, mainly for that. And yeah, that's in general what I wanted to say. And I don't remember if we wanted to say something else about this. Because in fact, if we look in this part, the first chapter is of a little more of 1.5k words for being the first chapter. And so I want to write this quantity of words for chapter, more or less in general. It's not I don't remember is how is in English. Now a moment, I will see you. Translate gives me as translation is not a fixed number that is not have to be has to be hit this number doesn't have to be a constant. That would happens that some chapters will be less for 1k, others more, but as general idea I want to try to reach for every chapter at least 1k words. But in general I was thinking these days that I hold every week make a video that I will publish on YouTube, on my channel YouTube with the same name. A review about how was my previous week during doing this challenge, but also in general how was my week as writer, because I think would be interest for me personally see how was my week, what where I improved as writer, where I have to improve, my pros and cons as writer, and also I think that for authors would be an personal help. But if I don't know if will have the time today to do that video, but I think I will do it tomorrow and try to publish it between the evening of tomorrow and the morning of the day next day. And leaving this about how was my week, I want to talk about the second chapter, because as I said yesterday, I was in a as water yesterday was better because I was in the situation of writing of to write something that it's always better of nothing, and I wrote this and this, and one thing I changed one thing about how we'll start this chapter. In fact, I wrote that that the first chapter would start with the group of main characters of friends already out from the school after the lessons finished. I'm talking about the back to school lunch, in particular with the purpose of confirming that the chapter will that the lunch will be on Saturday. That's because I noticed that here something at this last paragraph of the first chapter, I wrote that the back to school lunch will be not for Monday, the first who would be that day, the first day of school, but another day, because Jake wasn't in the situation to participate. But they didn't didn't confirm it about the lunch. Even was we can say that without be specific, we would understand that the lunch would be on that day. But I prefer be specific, give the possibility to the reader, also for me personally, because if I would be the reader, for me was better if the writer wrote that specific that disappointment between friends was confirmed. And on this the thing about confirming. I want that the second chapter would start with confirming of the event. But before, now it's more for curiosity than others things. I want to look what day was the 1st September of 1987. Was a Tuesday. Tuesday, so this means it's Martedì. The second day of the week if we consider Monday as first day of the week. So it's as everything we wrote until now, it's we can say that it's realistic about it. And living and now trying to work about the second chapter that I give the title of the science competition, because as we can see, after the scene between Jake and his friends out from school, Jake will return at home for the lunch with his mother and guest. Okay, the guests are Olga and Natalia. And Natalia is Olga's daughter, and also Olga and Natalia are next door neighbors, Jake next door neighbor, because in fact I don't know if I say that, but in general Jake lives in a complex of apartment. To understand the typical Soviet complex of apartment. And ecco, this was another one thing I wanted to talk. One thing that I thought was thinking just today. In fact, I will say here, we know that Jake lives just with her mother in the apartment. So this does mean that there is no father for Jake. But in general, without go too in the deep of this story of Jake, of about what happened before the novels, is the fact that mother his parents divorced without too many drama or complex thing in the story. That Fresh has an auntie, but an auntie, Ellie, or Ella, who lives in Klaipeda. but there is nothing else. And this and considering the fact that our main characters are all four minors, and doesn't mean under 18, we didn't consider the fact of about family, relatives, or siblings, etc. Or not totally, because this, if we think about it for a moment, it's pretty important considering the family if the characters are minors. And this, it's better think about this problem now for the future story, because this way we can write the story better in the best of the way. And on with in Italian we say buco di trama, in English is it's like a plot hole, or in general a problem that creates confusion or makes the story not too realistic. So we say that Jake lives with her mother. Right again, Jake. And okay, this mother. After we also know, for simplicity, because I saw it is early, that King lives with his parents. Okay. Parents. After Fresh. And Tricky. Really, to be honest, this is the first time I hear a plot hole in Italian. Really, because I'll just translate of Google, because I say so that it in the last years improved so much. Buco di trama. It's in Italian, but I don't know, for example, in English how is. At least we can say that at something, how to say, let's sorry, that at least we can say that their lives have so many have others purpose than the challenge, because at least I have to say that for me, the going live on Twitch or YouTube has the purpose of mm, mm, to in this moment I want try to go on Google Translate and in this platform translates the Italian verb spronare on spur or god, Joad, and I wanted to say, in fact, that this lives in general, was a personal thing to give me a reason to write more and seriously. And after, in general, to be honest, I'm always surprised to have someone here, for like you, 13, I will 12. Always better of nothing, let's say. But in general, I was forgotten that it's beautiful to see how many things we can learn about from this live and this challenge. And continue with this. Except for these two characters, Jake and King. I don't know for these other two characters. Now I want to go to look buco di trama in inglese. Yeah, in general, also ChatGPT, because I ask how is in Italian word buco di trama in inglese, and he said that is translated as plot hole. For example, that movie had so many plot holes it didn't make any sense, or I need to fix a minor plot hole in the second chapter. But if I wanna be more formal or specific, I can say inconsistency in the plot, incoerenze nella trama, and narrative gap, lacuna narrativa più neutra e letterario. For my mind has more sense inconsistency in the plot than plot hole. And I think for me, I would have more probably to remember inconsistency in the plot. I think, at least. This is we have to see in the future. Anyway, I don't know if we can live also these two with parents or no, but also Yutani even she is not the main one of the main important character, but she has her role in the story. She lives with her parents. Yes, and stop between the other characters. We have to consider these five, at least between who has a role in the story. But because where I have the possibility, I want to be respect what the characters are in the story, and that this means do not change that much about their person. But also considering the game Subway Surfers, we have characters as in their as individual, and that and this game is one of that kind that doesn't develop that much about relationship, who with who, if who has siblings, other type of relatives, etc. Because for Fresh, being the black character, I think the only one black character in the story, and I did some research. As I understand, in this period, in the last 20 years of the 19th century, there weren't too much black people in Lithuania or any kind of foreigners. So I think that has more sense, at least I think, that Fresh lives with both parents. And when I say both of the parents, I mean also in this, at least at this chase, that they are married and together. For and also because I think that that in the main lore, adding the secondary one of lore, for example, that the parents are divorced but work together, I don't know, collaborate as parents for their child, is also another complicated part to consider, because we have to consider that we have a main lore where consider all the four main characters together as a group of friends, but also we have to consider that there's le sottotrame, the underplots, ecco. To consider some underplots, for example, that King will leave the school during his 4 years. This doesn't mean during the first book, for economical, financial, and familiar problems. Like subplots, exactly. And King is one of the subplots. In general, important because this is important for the story, for why something happens, how they change the story with that. So it is important for the main plot. After we'll have the summer love story between Tricky and Brody during the summer. At least it's not so much important. That it's pretty hard, because it's 50-50 about this love story, summer love story, because it's on one part is important to understand the character of Brody, how he meets the main characters, and also introduce this new character. Even I don't know if the Brody will have a one of the important role in the story, but I think yes. And I don't think we have other subplots, at least for the first book, because we will see also how the relationship between Jake and Yutani will develop during the story. But this takes 3 books. We will see Jake and Yutani as a couple in the 3rd book, at least I think, because in the 2nd book Yutani will be in the 1st year of university, while Jake will be in the last year of school. And in the 3rd book we will see how our characters develops themselves during, I think, at least for now, I think how it developed during the years, or in general after the school. Let's write here, and I think parents as his sense. It sense because sorry subplot financial family problems. Which one is financial problem, and finance, it's correct, no, finance, family shop, and in the future that is not that so important, but is a minor important information, is that finishing the school part. Let's check. I have some doubts about this. Yeah, shop uploads, yeah. Finire il percorso di studi. Finish scholastic, let's write. Finish the school. Finish the school. But this one, the last one, is in the third book. Fresh parents and auntie. And I think that with this we have finished it. We resolved that problem. I will write this in another document dedicated of all information. Not here, but family. Okay. Okay, done. Now we can continue with the project. The second chapter. So in general, the second chapter is called the science competition, because after this part, scene between Jake and friends out from the school and Jake homecoming. That homecoming, I think I would pass it, because it's obvious that he has to return at home. We will concentrate about the scene Jake, Natalia, the girl, Jake, Natalia. How is your Ctrl S and Scene Jake Yutani, because in this way we will introduce the other important character, Yutani, even she's not the main character but important for the story. After talking more about what I wrote yesterday afternoon, I wrote this part and a little of this, but let's concentrate about this because I didn't even finish it. This scene is in the class. They are in the class Um, and in particular is not because between this part, the final part of the first chapter, and the start of the second chapter, are passed some hour, like 2 or 3 hours, and this is happening in a few minutes. In fact, la scena si sviluppa. The scene unfolds in the last minutes of this lessons, of the lessons, lesson, where because yesterday I was thinking about I feel it like the second chapter, like if I start this chapter with this part where the main characters are already out from the school after the lesson, if we can say it this way. It's I would feel like this chapter is not the second chapter, the chapter after, but is a completed chapter put in a future more più in là. Non più in là, further on the time. And for this reason, I think this scene is perfect for as transition between the previous scene and the next one. And what I wrote in particular. In general, I give a general context of what was happening in that moment, and we will start with Tricky. Whose draw where Tricky did a pretty detailed drawing where there was Jake blowing out the smoking of a cigarette, a close-up of an end with a cigarette, and the top of the drawing was a drawing of their arms, arm in arm, with the word together written on it. And cropping the paper into a small tight ball, she threw against Jake's back. And at this moment we pass to the see the scene from the point of view of Jake, who looked pretty annoyed about the feeling of something crashing against his back, but noticing that wasn't someone in general like other classmate, but tricky, he wasn't less annoyed and take the ball and look at inside was writing on it. And after a moment of confusion, trying to understand what she wanted from him, he said through lips sync, my cigarettes, nah. And I was, in fact, let's say that I think that at least Jake, he's a smoker. I don't know if smoker chain. Let's check if it's correct. Fumatore accanito. Chain smoker. I don't know if he would be a chain smoker. But in general, I was thinking he would be one who smokes enough. Not that much every day, every hour, but some cigarettes he would smoke during his day. Some realistically talking about character. I let's say Beverly is not one who smokes like a package per day, but some like exaggerating 5 cigarettes to understand what kind of character we are talking about. And for while the other characters, the other character are uh, occasional. Let's try. Fumatore, so smoker, occasionale. Yes, occasional smoker, at least translator says. For example, ChatGPT says that the word fumatore occasionale is translated in English as occasional smoker or social smoker. Always, if you know English better, for who is watching me in live or on YouTube, can say me the correct to correct me in English about English rules, role, modi di dire, idioms, etc. about English. But ChatGPT says that occasional smoker is used in a general way for who and indicate who smokes here and there in the fumare di rado, we can say smoke rarely, while social smoker is used when the person smokes only in company or in certain social situations. If it gives me some example, occasional smoker. He is an occasional smoker, maybe one cigarette a week. Wha- uh, with social smoking we have. She doesn't buy cigarettes, she just a social smoker. And I think that King, the character of King doesn't smoke. Tricky, rarely, I think. Smokes are less than Jake. And Fresh, I think he would smoke a cigarette, but is not a lover of the smoke lover, let's say in this way. So, and also this I will add in the document with all general information. Character design. Let's. I will write. And Jake is smoker, cigarette, abitudinario, habitual smoker, ok, tricky, occasional smoker, Jake tricky fresh, un moment, today is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th. Obviously, come to me. Okay. I take this moment to refresh the title of the live with the correct day. But anyway, fresh is social. Social smoker, so rarely smokes and only in certain occasions, but prefers to not smoke. But he prefers to not smoke because he doesn't like the taste and because it doesn't like and it's uh, unhealthy. Even more because fresh is the most sportivo. It's sportivo. Is the sporty one, the group, and at the end at the finish we have king is no smoke, doesn't smoke cigarettes, but consider that in this story I wanna, now that we are talking about smoking and similar, there will not no drugs, any kind of drugs. We are the maximum is the cigarette. No, and so and considering the fact that we have minors like as we have the main character are minors under 18. Don't wanna involve with drugs and alcohol for my preference, and because I don't see the need to put these two words in this story to if not to complicate that much the story for no reason. So Jake is a smoker, the habitual one, and also no alcohol, no drugs. So Jake is an habitual smoker, but is not a chain smoker. Tricky is an occasional smoker. It happens more when there is Jake in this scene or someone else that she has confidence, which with the Tricky with someone Tricky has confidence with, but she doesn't buy the cigarette. Fresh is a more social smoker, and the king doesn't smoke never. So after this, let's return at the second chapter. And so this is what everything I wrote yesterday, and this also the idea I was about the characters or about character and the story in general, mainly for the characters. And let's see what I wrote for understand what to improve, how to continue, and etc. So when the day passed the rush hour and the clock hanging above the slate blackboard read 12:15, the teachers resigned themselves to letting the student go. A few minutes earlier, the students had begun to get excited and a little restless, ready to sprint. Some were talking about how they'd spend the rest of the day with their families. Others were talking about their amazing walks around the capital. Tricky put around the capital city. Let's write this. Tricky put all her effort to scribble something on a little piece of paper, furrowing her eyebrows and sticking out her tongue from how much she was concentrated. She did a pretty detailed drawing where there was Jake blowing out the smoking of the cigarette, a close-up of an hand with a cigarette, and at the top of the drawing was a sketch, if I'm not wrong about write these words, of their arm in arm with the word together written on it. Then she crumpled the paper into a small tight ball, and making sure no one was looking her way, looking in, I know I have to do, May looking her way, threw it against Jake's back. Making sure no one wasn't watching her. At the feeling of the something crushing against his back, Jake turned around and grunted at the classmates who were sitting behind him. But in the moment he made eye contact with her friend, and this one pointed him to look down, he noticed the ball made of paper on the floor. Together, smoking me, he mumbled to himself, trying to understand the phrase in code. As he understand the question, looked at the teacher, who's still talking about something and looking at the opposite part of the class, and he turned around again, saying without lip sync, my cigarette, nah. And I didn't finish the scene. But in general, I was thinking, because in some way I had to have to finish the scene. The first option is that at the end, if we can put it in this way, Jake accept his fate to give his some of his cigarette to others. This means Trick and Jay and Fresh, if Fresh wants to smoke together with them, and pass the ball to other member of the group. Now I want to see the correct pronunciation of group. A group with the U letter. Okay, the music is repeated. Talking about music, I'm curious to know about from who is listening to me, if the level of the music it's okay for you, if me is annoying the same song, if makes difficult to listen to me I want also know about this because I don't listen all my life in this moment, so I don't understand. I don't know if the level it's okay. If in general, sorry, if it's annoying, etc. And returning the news, the document. This is the main. I was thinking this. There weren't other option. Why did I say that there was the first option? But anyway, this is in something that interested to us, but in somehow I had to finish the scene, at least write, develop without its sense to exist, and mainly it was what was, but mainly sorry again. Today I am hitting many times the microphone because I have near to me next to the keyboard. But the scene I was merely thinking about is that he would finish as Jake accept his fate of sharing the fate of sharing his cigarettes the idea of sharing and the other one is give the piece of paper to other two members of the group Fresh and King. Let's see. Now talking about this scene about the cigarette and the fact that the next scene will be between Jake and the guest Olga and Natalia is the fact that we have to considering how much will be the scene of this cigarette scene in with the purpose of consider the next scene. So this means it have to not take too much time if we try to, because I am trying to write a realistic novel. that has its own sense to exist. So, what we can write? Why not? Tricky gesticulates with her hands, giving him an confused expression. With a fake confused. You are ladro because thief cigarette thief, he murmured. Also, why not? The trick gesticulates with her hands, giving him a fake confused expression. You are a cigarette thief. And at that affirmation, Fresh turned around to Jake. With not confused by with knowledge expression. For now I wrote in this way because I don't know how the correct word, because I know that word, but I don't remember which kind of word is it. With a knowledge expression, giving what are you talking about, man? He asked. Jake gave him the piece of paper. Trio is the at the past. Lanciare, throw, yeah. ciao wed lanciato. How is lanciato? The piece of paper. Gave him the piece of paper and whispered. I don't want to give my cigarettes. And I don't know, I have some doubt about this. Because it's too, I don't wanna give them. But somehow I want to put Jake to accept it. To give her my cigarette and how much the cost fresh basket 2 packages okay, this Saturday I will restituire i soldi che ti dovrebbe ridare a Tricky. Oh, hold. Gave back the money that Tricky is supposed to give you back. Too long and those money. At that point, that affirmation, Jake non poteva fare altro che accettare. Ok. Jake will do nothing but accept. And then we can let end this affirmation that is seen with okay, and the campanella the school bell ringed loudly signing the end of the school, I don't know, segnando la fine delle lezioni, marking the end of the school, the end of the classes. That for me, classes is more like room, but I discovered that classes is the room as I know, and also the lesson. I don't know if the specific of American or British or in general in English they will say properly more like classes than lessons. But in general this will be the scene for the class scene. And for today I finish in this way, but after for my own I will continue the project, but tomorrow is Sunday. I don't know for now if I will go on live on pro, but in general, if I can, I will go in the afternoon. If not, I will not, but in general will arrive the reminder of when I am going live. And if it will go as I want, I will be also in the morning in live. I will see tomorrow in general, but in each case will arrive the reminder if when I go in live in general. So with this I finish for today. Now I share to myself the document with the purpose of to work on it. Close this transition, open WhatsApp, documents, subway, these two open and share. And also I want to share my document with English rules. Ok, scheda di grammatica. Ok, done. And for today I will finish here the live, this stream. And bye bye to everyone, and good night for who's night in this moment, or good morning. Bye bye.